So I'm going to be taking you through a flow today that is very focused on control and mobility. This is a full body flow that you can use to gain mobility in the shoulders, the hips, the spine, really your entire body, but also can be used in a very mindful manner to develop very, very good mind-body connection with every major muscle group and joint. So I want you to take this one slow today. I want you to be aware of what's happening in the mind, as well as what the quality of your breathing is like through this practice, though I won't give you any specific cues on how to breathe or when to inhale and exhale. I just want you to continuously breathe with your movement and be aware of the quality of the breath as you move. You should never be holding your breath. You should never be forcefully inhaling or exhaling, but smoothly and continuously allowing the breath to flow as you move through this, okay? This includes all of what are called the form-specific stretches from the animal flow system. So while there's plenty of other mobility and flexibility drills and postures and exercises that you can use to mobilize your body, you could argue that these are really some of the only ones you may ever need, depending on what your unique needs are and what your unique goals are. But this flow is going to mobilize, open up, and strengthen as well all of the major joints and muscle groups in the body. So we're going to initiate this flow from our deep squat or our deep ape position. And from here, we're going to open up. So we're going to lift onto the toes. We're going to abduct the knees so that the hips open and the knees point out towards the sides. And simultaneously, we're going to externally rotate our arms, keeping them straight, bring them out, and pretending like there's two people stretching us from side to side. So we're trying to stretch our fingers out to opposite sides of the room here while externally rotating. So your palms should be facing up or possibly even a little bit backwards behind you, but without pinching the shoulder blades back. We're trying to stretch the shoulders out and open, broaden the upper body. Okay. From here, we're going to come to an ape reach. So now we're going to internally rotate the arms. We're going to bring the knees back in, sink back to the heels, and reach the arms out in front of us, pressing the backs of the palms together firmly, dropping the head between the arms, and just hovering the thumbs over the floor here, sinking into the heels, trying to get nice and deep into our squat pattern here. From here, we're going to slide to loaded beast. So if you're a yogi, you might think of this like an active or hovering child's pose, where our knees are staying just barely over the floor, pressing firmly into the palms, externally rotating the arms so that the elbows point down. From here, we're going to perform a loaded beast unload. So starting to press into the toes, shift our weight forward. Arms stay perfectly straight, protracting, so pushing the chest away from the floor. Our shoulder blades should be spread out and around the upper back, coming to this unload position. Now, if you don't have the strength yet, your shoulders might stay more or less just over the palms. If you are strong in your forward shoulder loaded position, you can come all the way forward, maybe even flipping onto the tops of the feet, squeezing the glutes, getting a straight body line, before then returning to loaded beast by pushing the hips back towards the heels, bending the knees, and just hovering the knees over the ground. Okay? From here, we're now going to perform a wave unload. So sending the hips high, lifting on to the toes, so heels lifted. Then squeezing the glutes, activating the core, drawing the belly button in, rolling through the spine, sending the shoulders forward, then dropping the hips to the ground. Stay looking between the palms. You're then going to pinch the shoulder blades back behind you and finally gaze up towards the ceiling. So you should literally move through the spine like a wave with this. To return to loaded beast, initiate by bringing the the chin to the chest, then pushing, protracting the shoulder blades, lifting the hips up and back, coming to this sort of modified down dog position again, and then bending the knees, lowering back to loaded beast. Now we're going to perform a left leg beast reach. So again, hips up high, but this time your left knee is into your chest and your left heel is into your bum. We're going to squeeze the glutes again, rolling forward just like we did for that wave unload, but this time we're going to stop, bring the left knee to the outside of the left tricep, and then gazing forward. Core should be tight and body line, excluding leg, should be straight. From there, we're going to perform a right leg under switch. So we're going to drop the left foot on the outside of the left hand, push into the right palm, lift the left palm off the ground, and then shift your weight forward slowly, bringing your right leg through the window between your planted foot and hand here, okay? So this is a midpoint between your under switch, and then you're going to continue by planting your right foot about hip distance away from your left. You're going to need to twist. So now your fingers are pointing backwards on that planted hand behind you. You're probably going to notice that your hand will need to shift and turn a little bit to feel more comfortable, coming to what's called a modified crab here for this next movement, which is a crab reach. So sending the hips up high. Your left hand should still be in front of your chest, trying to point your chest up towards the ceiling in this 3-point bridge here. Then, as we reach up and over the head with the left arm, now we're going to twist to open the chest towards the side now. Reach that arm up and over so our head's framed by the shoulders. Glutes are squeezed so the hips stay nice and high up in the air, coming to our crab reach. Return to crab. So lowering the hips back down, left hand in front of the chest again, into right leg full scorpion. So from our crab here, we're going to lift our right foot. Then we're going to lift onto the toes, or press on the gas is what's called. We're going to plant the left hand, coming to a modified beast. Then we're going to send the hips up high as we reach up and over with the right leg, opening the hips, slowly stretching the lateral line of the body, flipping, landing on that right foot, landing in this modified crab position. Left heel is planted, and left leg is straight. Our right elbow is into the side of the body, or into the rib cage here, kind of between the thigh and the rib cage. To wrap up this flow, we're now going to perform a left leg under switch to deep ape. So that final movement, what we're going to do is, again, press into the left palm. We're going to bend the left knee. So our leg is hovering now, and I'm at that midpoint position in my under switch. I'm going to press onto my right toes. I'm going to slowly start rotating that left leg underneath the window between my planted foot and palm. I'm going to plant that foot hip distance apart from my right foot. I'm going to push into that planted palm, and then I'm going to come to an ape reach.
So we did this one already. Backs of the palms are pressed together. Thumb is just hovering over the ground, sitting back onto the heels and dropping the head between the arms. From here, we're going to open up and repeat the flow. So I'll demonstrate this one more time for you. Less cueing, more moving. So open up, abduct the knees, externally rotate the arms. Reach to loaded beast. Into unload, driving straight forward, arms straight, protracting, loading the shoulders. Return to loaded beast. Wave, unload, hips high, activate the core. Roll through the spine, lower the hips, pinch the shoulder blades back, look up. Return to loaded beast. Rolling through the spine like a wave. Right leg, beast reach this time. Hips high, knee to chest, heel to bum. Coming forward, knee to outside of right tricep. Into left leg, under switch. To right arm, crab reach. Hips high, reaching up and over. Return to crab. Into left leg, full scorpion. Right leg, under switch to deep ape. To deep ape reach, I should say. Open up. And continue. Okay, so that was one full round. First half round, I did slowly, more cueing. And the second half round, sped it up a little bit, less cueing, more moving, which is usually how I demonstrate these flows. Now, there's a lot of complexity to these movements. There's a lot of details and small components that'll be hard to get down. So if you're viewing this on my YouTube channel, then you may want to go and check out some of my previous videos. The ABCs of animal flow is going to be a really good one. That'll help you out a lot with the fundamental forms and transitions and just some of the details of contralateral movement patterns. If you are an Evolution Collective member, you have access to more detailed tutorials on the constituent components and individual form-specific stretches and transitions in this flow. Those are going to help you out a lot. And then when you come back to this video, a lot of these detailed and complex movements will make a lot more sense, and you'll be able to move through this flow a lot more confidently on your own. Okay, whether you are one of my subscribers on YouTube, whom I love so much, thank you so much for all of your likes and shares and comments and subscriptions. It's amazing. I've been thrilled to see the success coming in on YouTube. Or you are an Evolution Collective member and you've watched a bunch of these videos already. I am always so thankful to have you with me. Wishing you well, as always.